Hello and welcome back to Old School Modeler. My name is Nick. Well, if you've been following the channel for a certain amount of time, you would know when the turntable is out, it's time for our final. So this is the final on the Psychedelic 60s group build, hosted by Dan the Man over at 60s Rule. About a month behind because I took a month off and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm a month behind, but I finally finished, which is not a big deal. Dan the Man sent me my token for participating, and if you've been following along, I've been building Dennis's Charger from the movie Christine, which is a 68 Charger, and I finally finished it. It was my first vinyl top car. So yeah, it ain't perfect, but here it is. So as you've been following along, this one kind of fought me a little bit. With the had sand scratches up here on top of the quarter, and then there was a couple places here and here on both sides, and then it had some sand scratches on the deck lid here that I didn't get out in the beginning when I was doing all the mold lines on top of the quarter, and then the vinyl top trim. So I had some scratches that I didn't get out. So I didn't see them when I was primering, and then I wet sanded the primer smooth and everything. I still didn't see them, and I didn't see them until I had 3 layers of blue on there. I was like, uh oh. So that kind of took the sales out of me, and I wet sanded it down, and then I took a month off hiatus. Then I got back onto it. I sanded it some more. I went down all the way down to the plastic, and I kind of feathered it out, and then I taped it from the doors forward, and then I reprimed the quarters, the deck lid. Like I said, both quarters. I took the taillight panel out, so I reprimed the quarter panels and stuff, and then I repainted it. Obviously, the same blue, and it came out much better. And I wet the color sanded, and then I cleared, and it came out decent. You guys know I don't build perfect show quality builds. There's a lot of imperfections and stuff. I try to do the best I can. So this blue, it's I got it close to what the movie car is. It's kind of hard to tell in what the actual colors are because there's no information about this car whatsoever. I've looked. There's nothing. It was the same thing with Buddy Repperton's Camaro. There was no information about it. You could find anything you want about the '58 Plymouth, aka Christine. You could find anything you want about that. Obviously, because that was the star of the movie. But I couldn't find any information about it. I don't know what the actual color was or anything like that. But I got it close. Considering the movie has filters and it's from, it's an old movie. So the color I did end up choosing was TS15 blue. Focus. There we go. So that's the color of it. And then this is my first, like I said in the beginning, this is my first vinyl top. That's done with just cheap masking tape. That's all it is, just 3M masking tape. And then the strips are half round styrene strips. For the trim along here, and then the seams. The next time I'm going to do this, I don't have the seams exactly right. They need to be out this way a little bit more, and they need to be flattened out more. They're not supposed to be that proud, But it came out great. I'm very happy how the vinyl top came out, and the the black is just Tamiya semi-gloss black. TS29 semi-gloss black. It's just sprayed right over the masking tape, and then the same thing with the taillight panel is semi-gloss black. So I did have some issues with it, but I got through it. I did have some issues with some bleeding. I put the clear coat on. You can see the blue ran off the edges here, there, and it ain't the best. There's looks like, I don't know, there's fish eyes. I don't know what all those bumps are, but I had a piece of hair there that I got out, and I tried wet sanding to get it out. There's a spot there. I don't know what happened there, but like I said, I don't build for shows. The hood lining, sound deadening thing, whatever it's called, but that's the hood. The engine, very well detailed. I had to put as much detail as I could, but I did not wire it. I didn't plumb it. Those heater hoses comes in the kit. There's an upper hose and a lower radiator hose down there. And I tell you, that lower radiator hose fought me for an hour trying to get it in there, because the hose has a nipple on it, and then the you got to sneak it down in there because you can't see the hole. You got to go through the top and sneak it down in there and go in there blind and try to find the hole in the radiator. So I was fighting that for an hour, but I eventually got it. I sat there and glued it like 10 different times, and it just fought me and fought me and fought me. But I got it in there, got it where it should be. The battery was not in it, so that helped. And the battery's detailed. It has two decals on it, and then I did the red caps. You got the two decals on air cleaner. Washer bottle. You got two horns down in there. Let's see. I didn't do much detail on the bottom. You can see there is detail, brake lines and fuel lines and stuff like that. I didn't highlight those. I really need like a fine point Sharpie or like a silver pencil or something like that. But there's my automatic conversion. This automatic is out of the 68 Hemi Dart. You cut the transmission off the 440 out of that kit, and then you glue it to this 440, or you can do the same thing with the Hemi. I did the same conversion with the Revell 70 DOMS charger. With the Hemi, the blown Hemi, I put the automatic in there, and you can see it fits. It fits really well. Fits around the stock exhaust. Got the chrome tips on there. I was thinking about doing the 8 3/4 because with the 440 automatic, this car would have had a 8 3/4. But I would had to extend the axle tubes, which I didn't want to do, and I had to make my own mounts and all that stuff. And I was like, ah. So I just put the Dana 60 in there and just left it black. And then the wheels, I had to put different wheel backs on there. The ones had the longer mounting studs. I don't know what those are called, but I had to put those on there, the wheel backs, to extend these wheels out because they were sucked in too far and it didn't look right. So I did that. And we're looking into the interior. I did the wood grain dash. Oh, focus. You see decals and the chrome trim, and I did the automatic center console, the automatic shifter, and the shifter plate is from the Revell 68 Hemi Dart as well. Come to find out, Dennis's Charger does not have a wood grain dash. So I did all that work for nothing, but it looks good. Get you a shot from the other side. So yeah, I spend a lot of time on that center console and that dash, and then come to find out, yeah, it didn't have a wood grain dash. Because there's a deleted scene in that movie. It's a deleted scene, and they're filming through the back window, and then you can see the dash. So the dash is black, and then he opens the door, and the car has power windows. I was like, what? So this kit, it comes with, obviously with the manual windows, but this is my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of a 68 Charger is the round taillights. This is my absolutely favorite year. It does have RT badges on this, but Dennis's car did not have RT badges. Did not realize that until it was too late, so I just put them on there because they're molded in. Same thing with the front end. I just love the grill and the taillights on a 68 Charger. The grill just looks menacing. So my favorite Chargers is a 68, and my second favorite is a 70, and my third favorite is a 71, and then a 69. I don't like the 69 grill too much, but as you can see, there's no license plates. I did not have the proper plates, or I didn't have the proper California plates that were blue with yellow letters. So I went through all of my decals, my license plate decals. I did not have any California license plates that were the blue with yellow lettering. And I went through all my kits, my stash, that didn't have any. Did have a set in the Baja Bronco, but they didn't look right. They looked too big. I don't know. They just didn't look right. But this does steer. It does have posable steering. So that's cool that works. And of course, the wheels and tires of the Krager SS's, those also came from the 68 Hemi Dart kit. So the wheels and tires, the shifter, and the center console, and the automatic transmission all came from the 68 Hemi Dart. by Revell. And a little less detail, the fuel cap, which is another favorite of mine on these Chargers. I swear this thing's electrifying. It's attracting hair, but you know it's shiny and it ain't perfect. You can see there's, you know, I don't know. I guess they're fish eyes. I don't know, but there's scratches in there from doing the bare metal foil and stuff like that. But decals for the marker lights. There's a Pentastar decal. So yeah, there's the Psychedelic 60s group build. Finally finished. I'm pretty happy how it came out. You know, there's some flaws and stuff, but of course one of the flaws, trying to glue this lower valance in. There's a glue all up in here on both sides, but you really have to get the chassis and the body together, or else that lower valance will not glue in. So there's very tight tolerances on this kit. The interior is not even glued in. It's just friction fit, and then the chassis is not even glued in. It's only glued in up here. So it's a very tight tolerance. Very well designed kit. Very well detailed. I love the modern tool Revell kits. These are real nice kits. So give it one more spin around, and then we'll call it for this video. And the engine color is MCW Chrysler Engine Turquoise, for those who are wondering. So yeah, that's the final on the Psychedelic 60s group build. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing the Psychedelic 60s group build, hosted by Dan the Man over at 60s Rule. I'll leave his channel down below, both of his channels, and I hope to do it next year. So we had, you know, a bunch of we all know that Mr. Tamiya passed away. We had Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, and there was a couple of other musicians that passed away, which sucks, but circle of life, it happens. So with that being said, I thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and give me a like, comment, subscribe, do what you want, and build that model your way. Have a great night.